We are starting this chapter of One Piece, chapter 1178, called Fading Nightmare. From the first page, from the first Gekko, we are back on track on Elbaf, and we have Luffy that saw Usopp and Brook that were hurt and badly injured from their fight with Gonko Imu, and he was like, I need to save them. So Luffy grabbed onto them, and he saw that the rest of his crew, meaning Nami, Sanji, with Jinbei and Frankie, and they're watching Luffy, and Luffy saw them, and he took Usopp and Brook to them so that so that they can get some rest with them and they can get treated or whatever. And in this scene, even Frankie is asking Luffy, hey Luffy, do you need help against all of those foes and everything? And Luffy's like, don't worry, I'm gonna go and handle it myself, and if I need extra help, then yes, the Straw Hats can all come and help out Luffy in his fight against Gonko Imu with the help of Loki. And then we are back to Loki's side where he's talking or fighting Gonko Imu already, and Gonko Imu is saying, oh yeah, a ship from the giants was sighted many years ago, and its captain was of extraordinary size. However, those who moved while hiding within the deep fog targeted only world government ships and struck them down. And from there, you can see that basically Loki is preparing one of his lightning beam from his mouth, and he's propulsing it against Gunko. But Gunko is fast enough, and she can go around this and everything. But at the same time, Luffy is seeing all of that happening, and he's like, oh no, I need to get into the fight too, and he's going in too for the fight. But at the same time, Gunko is still saying, meanwhile they were reported sighting of a giant flying creature, and those rumors were being told as if they were true. So basically she's talking about rumors that happened a long time ago, where on a giant ship there was a giant creature, a giant guy that would maybe transform into a giant monster or a giant creature, and Imu didn't know which one and all of that. But from just those rumors, we can guess that it was probably Loki that was going around the world 8 years ago, and whenever he would see a world government ship, he would sink it literally with all of the powers he's got. And I've seen other theories online talking about how that ship must have been King Harold and all of that, but King Harold was before, and King Harold was actually ordered by Imu to do whatever he was doing on the seas, meaning that he was also on a ship, and the ship was all around some fog and all of that. So all of that, basically, even Loki had the same thing where he was on a ship, but instead of going against pirates, he was going against world government ships. And since Luffy is literally coming in close for the fight, Imu realizes what's going on, and Imu actually comes out of the body of Gunko, and you can literally see Imu on top of Gunko's body as like a shadowy figure and all of that. And from that perspective, Imu is going through a little tantrum where Imu is like, oh, I wish you were dead just like rocks already. And that's where Imu decided to go for the aka kill, but basically Domi reversing Luffy and Loki at the same time. And the quarry, or the order that she's given for Imu to give a little bit of her power, and in reverse take a little bit of life expectancy from Luffy and Loki. Well, in this case, the Domi reverse, it did not actually work. And it did not actually work because, just like Imu said it, oh, it's because it's them. So it's them, meaning what? Meaning, oh, they are the real reincarnation of those gods from back in the day, meaning the sun god and all of that, Nika, and the god of war and everything. That's a possibility. Or I heard about another possibility that I was also theorizing about myself, where I was like, wait, hold on, why didn't Loki and Luffy's expressly did not switch into, being devils and everything, being Domi reversed and all of that? And I was like, hold on, who did Imu actually Domi reverse it until now? Because all of the people that she Domi reverses were Rock the Chebek, and we saw what happened over there where he became a devil, and then she also turned Bragi, you know? And so from that perspective, I was like, hey, they actually don't have a devil fruit power. So what if actually when you have a devil fruit power inside of you, you cannot turn into a devil with the Domi Reversi? And that's a possibility right there, because the Domi Reversi did not actually work on Luffy and Loki. And since the Domi Reversi attack did not hurt neither Luffy or Loki, they got back to the fight right again. And Luffy is using one of his attack called Dawn Gatling, and you see him literally punching Imu literally from left to right, and Imu's body is slowly disappearing. Like you can see holes in the shadowy figure of Imu in this case. And with the help of Ragnir and Loki, he came literally down with, and now he's not in his transformed form of a dragon, because he was like, I am too big for the size of Kunko, so it's like he can't even see her, and that's why he had to go back to his original form, and he grabs on Ragnir and he went for the kill against Imu at the same time as Luffy with an attack called Niflheim. And at that same time you see that Kunko with Imu basically got frozen in a block of ice because of the attack of Loki. And since the fight now is apparently over, you know, we were all thinking we're gonna have such a big climax and such a crazy fight already since this chapter, but hey, I guess he went like and then and now nothing is going, and now nothing is happening, you know. So it's kind of a downer that we didn't have a proper fight in between the two. But wait, maybe that will happen still in the next chapters, so hold on tight until the end of the video, guys. And now we are also back to the fisherman village on Elbaf and the hunter village, where all the giants are literally looking around and they're like, yeah, there's no demons left, I think, or there's at least like just a little bit left. And we go back again to Dorian Bragi with some of the giants and Zoro at the same time, and they're all talking about how many devil giants are left, and in this case there's still like 2 to 3 that are left, and they want to go take care of them. But at the same time, who shows up? Chopper shows up in his awakened form, and he basically just goes to those devil giants and he slaps them, you know. And from that slap, you can see those devil giants that they have a devil inside of them that's literally coming out of their body and leaving their body, and they're able to go back to normal. And even Zoro is like, what the hell happened? How did you, Chopper, how did you do this? What, are you such a good doctor that you can even cure them? And he's like, don't compliment me. I love compliments, but don't. And with all of the cleaning up they have been doing, it looks like on Elbaf there's no more monsters, there's no more devil giants that will kill everybody and all of that, and the knights also have been controlled. So it looks like the Straw Hats already won already, but not yet. Just wait, because now we are on the side of the Owl Library, where we have Robin on top of Saul's shoulder, and they are in front of the library inside of it, and they look at the library and they go like, hey, it looks like the place burned down, but it doesn't look like there's any book in here. So what happened? And from what it said in the chapter and what I theorize, I'm saying that Bibelo actually has that devil fruit power to actually make the books smaller, bigger, or whatever, because in the original thing, those books are actually small. They're not as big as we saw them in the library where the giants can actually read them and all of that. So it's actually Bibelo who's able to make them bigger or smaller. And in this case, I am thinking that he made them probably so small that he could make them this small and literally put them in his pocket, and go somewhere for safety, for the purpose of the whole history of Elbaf and everything and the library. And so thank God Bibelo actually was on top of his game, and he saw it all coming and he already took his precautions. Bibelo is a good one. And at the same time, right outside of the library, where Sanjay is talking to Frankie, and Frankie is literally holding the head of Killing Gum, and Killing Gum is like, I wonder what happened to Emo, you know, like what the hell. And basically it's like he can't feel Emo anymore, the presence of Emo and all of that, and that's why he's getting scared. So now the only people that's left on Elbaf is basically the God's Knights, and the God's Knights, Gunko is trapped in ice. Killing Gum is now, you know, his body is separated, and his head is basically being held by Frankie. And now in the edge of the western village we have actually Summers, and Summers is still there, still alive, still, you know, invincible, immortal, and all of that. But very interesting scene in here, because we see basically Summers' head that's sliced up, and in between his head right here and the other part of his head, there's something in between, and in between is heart, and everybody's guessing that that heart is the heart of Summers, of course, and that heart probably was in his face, which is weird, but the shape and the looks of that heart is very interesting, because it looks like the heart looks mechanical, and from that perspective I did already a little bit of digging left and right online, and since the heart looks mechanical, now we can start even to speculate on the fact that the heart might belong to a technology from the Void Century, where actually Emo can transfer, I don't know, mechanical hearts to replace the heart that you've got in your body to make you a God's Knight or something like that. The theories are going insane, and we're going to be talking about my own theories on the channel at some point, so tune in for those. Oh, and don't forget to like this video, guys, and subscribe to the channel, don't forget. And from this perspective, Summers was able to reattach at least his face, and he's like, oh my god, it hurts so bad and all of that. So regenerating completely feels like it hurts, and reattaching feels like it hurts even more. And the fact that we have this mechanical heart in the middle of all of this, I don't even know what to think about this heart, but I'm gonna do my own research at some point, and I'll let you know, guys. Then we go back at the end to Luffy's side, and Luffy is literally on the floor, and he's aged like 40 years. He is old because, you know, that's the after effect on awakening his devil fruit power and everything for so long, and specifically since he was like a giant and all of that, that will draw a lot of his power out, and that's why he's already, you know, on the floor, and he's like, I can't do it anymore. But from that same perspective, we can see that in the block of ice where Gunko or Imu Gunko is trapped, Imu is actually disappearing. So the only person that's left in that block of ice is Gunko. So Gunko, with all of the with the rest of the God's Knights, are still on Elbaf, but Imu actually retreated to Marijua. And on Marijua, she went to the Gorosei, and she went like, Gorosei, I'll be back. Mu shall withdraw from the land for a brief time. And then we have a sentence saying, is Imu's destination that place? And so what I'm guessing what's going to happen from that special sentence is that Imu is actually going to go herself in person out of Marijua to go to Elbaf to fight with Nika and Nidhogg. So the fight is not done. And just like Usopp was saying to Gunko Imu, like, hey, how dare you come to this country and fight so poorly and fight like a coward and everything, literally Usopp gaslighted the hell out of Imu so bad that it's drawing Imu actually to come in person to fight like a warrior and all of that on Elbaf. And I'm guessing that Imu is going to be using one of those pentagrams that's been drawn on Elbaf, and you know, since they can have that connection now, boom, she's gonna go all the way over there, and that's how Imu is going to be on Elbaf, and that's how one of the biggest fights of Elbaf is going to start, in between the real final big boss of One Piece versus Luffy and Nidhogg, aka Loki, you know? And from that perspective, hopefully Luffy will eat a lot of food and get a lot of power back, so that in the next chapters he will be ready to to fight next to Needhog against Imu and the world government and everything. And just like I told you, this chapter was absolutely crazy. We've seen a lot of information throughout this chapter, so you guys let me know down in the comments below, what did you think about this chapter? Tell me if I'm missing anything throughout this chapter, and let's talk about it down in the comments below. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.